Hey guys, today we're going to be with Jasmine and she's going to be my model today, and I am going to give her a makeup transformation from this to this. So if you guys want to see how I did this makeup look on Jasmine, please keep on watching. So today I'm using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation, and I chose this foundation because it blends really easily and it looks really good for flash photography. If you're taking videos or photos, it looks really nice, especially if you get the right shade, and this shade looks like it's a good match for Jasmine's skin. And then I'm going to blend it with a flat top foundation brush. I will usually use a sponge, but I left my sponge at home, so I'm just using this brush. And it still works because it's a flat top foundation brush, so it won't leave too much streaks on the face. Plus, if you see any kind of brush stroke, you can just go ahead and blend the foundation even more with your fingers. Whenever you're doing your makeup, you can erase your mistakes or the harsh edges, the brush streaks with it. It's very helpful. Make sure to blend your foundation evenly, and you can always go back and forth if you need to add more on areas where you need it. But just make sure your foundation looks very even and not concentrated only on certain parts. Next, I'm going to highlight the high points of her face, and I'm using the Naturactor concealer for this. This is a very famous high coverage concealer slash foundation, and highlighting your face is very important because it's going to just give you that lifted look on areas that are dull, and especially for your under eyes, this is going to make your under eyes just look a lot brighter, and it's going to make you look more awake and more fresh. So right now, I'm just blending it with this brush with synthetic bristles, and as you guys know, synthetic bristles are good for cream or liquid products. For some reason, it's hard to blend cream and liquid products with real hair, so this will work for this purpose. Whenever I do the face makeup or eye makeup, I always work with 2 to 3 brushes, just because one is for applying the product and the other brush is for blending. And right now, I'm using the foundation brush to just blend it out even more. And I just want to make sure that it's blended nicely so it's not that obvious. Since Jasmine's eyes are a bit deep set, I noticed that the concealer that I applied on her lids are starting to crease, so I'm just blending it even more. And now I'm just using the Wet n Wild, I think this is the Mega Glow Contouring Duo, and I'm just using the highlighting color to just set her under eyes. And this is sort of like a banana color, so it's also going to neutralize those dark circles even more. And the color is just perfect because it's not too white. The thing about under eye circles is you want to brighten up your dark circles, but at the same time you don't want to apply products that are way too light, because it's just going to give you that really unattractive white cast when you're taking photos. And now I'm just using this RCMA No Color Powder. This is my go-to setting powder because first of all, it's again good for flash photography because it doesn't give you flashbacks since it doesn't have any other pigment. But yeah, a lot of makeup artists use this. It's just a holy grail for so many people. I chose this eyebrow pencil that has a very thin tip, and this is very important because I'm going to mimic the natural brow hairs. So I'm just drawing fake hairs just to reshape her brows, and the shape that I'm going for is something that will make her brows look more youthful. So in the front it's a bit more square, and I want to make her brows a bit more straight. But I'm not going to give her hair that very like on fleek brows. This is more of like feathery, bushy brows, but I don't want too much arch because it's going to look not youthful, but at the same time, I just want to make it really, really fresh and natural. I want you to be able to see the hair strands one by one. So as you can see, I'm just trying to mimic her brow hairs, and I just also want to just fill in these sparse areas without over applying too much product, because like I said, I'm going for the natural look for her brows, and it's going to give her that youthful look. And it's very important to like give time for the brows, because this is going to make or break the look. Right now, I'm just applying the product on the lower part of her brows and just extending it just a tiny bit, but not too much. Like I said, you don't want to overdraw this because you want this to look as natural as possible. So that's the keyword, natural brows. So here is one of the Korean brow trends, and as you guys know, Koreans have really, really nice youthful brows. So I think brow products like this, like tinted brow gel, started in Korea and Japan. So I'm just using this one that I got from Sasa, and this is the heavy rotation brow tint, or like tinted brow gel. It's really good, and this just gave her brows a little bit of tint, and yeah, she has blonde hair, so this looks nice. And now I'm just trying to fix the shape of her brows even more, and just removing any excess product with a concealer and a synthetic brush. So moving on to the eye makeup. Right now, I'm just priming her eyes with a concealer. You can use an eyeshadow primer, whatever you have in hand. So I'm just using the Beauty Glaze Color Studio eyeshadow palette, starting off with this matte mocha shade, and I'm just using this as a transition color. Right now, I'm just focusing it on her crease, and we are slowly, gradually going to build up the look, starting off with a light color. And actually, I'm still using the same color now, but just trying to build up the color, because you want to start light with eyeshadow because it's easier to add than to erase. Whenever I do eye makeup, again, I usually work with 2 to 3 brushes, because one is for, again, applying the product and the other is for blending. Now I'm just going to take this darker brown shade, it's a matte color once again, and I'm just going to apply this on her outer corners, and this is going to be the first half of the halo eye, and I'm going to apply this on her outer and inner corners. The reason why we're doing a halo eye or halo effect is because we want the shimmers to really pop once we apply those shimmers and glitters on the center of her lids. And usually this looks really nice in flash photography or in any kind of photography and in videos. As you can see, I'm not working with only 2 brushes, but I'm also using my clean fingers to blend out the harsh edges. And I feel like it's the best eraser when you have like harsh edges, just like what I did earlier. It really comes in handy. And I'm just building up the darker shade just to make it look more smoky. Now here is another important step when you're doing a halo eye is applying the same dark color on the inner corner, the exact same color that you applied on your outer corner. As you can see, the center of her lids are already starting to show up and it's going to be ready for the shimmers. By the way, while I was applying her makeup, I told her to try not to look at any mirror or the viewfinder because I wanted to be a surprise since she told me that she's never had a makeover before and this is her first, and I just can't wait to see her reaction, if she's going to like it. Once you get the color laid down and the shape that you want for the halo eye, you are going to take a clean blending brush. I think this is the third brush that I'm working with. I always have extra clean brushes with me just so when I need it, it's just right there. Now I'm just taking the same cream concealer and I'm just fixing the shape of her eyeshadow. The last thing that you want is having a messy shape. So while you're doing eyeshadow, yes, you're applying shadow, but you still want to maintain a certain shape. So I want to achieve a little bit of like an almond shape for her eyes. So that is just what I'm doing right now. And as you've seen, the concealer just helped bring back the shape of her eyes even more. And again, I'm just blending and blending even more. Blending is the key. Okay, so with concealer, I'm going to apply this on the center of her lids. And this is going to be the base of our glitters and shimmers. And I asked her to look up so that the concealer will leave a mark on where I should keep the concealer. Is it higher or is it lower? It's kind of tricky, but I don't know if I'm making any sense. But yeah, I asked her to look up so that the concealer will leave a mark. So I know how high the concealer will go. And this trick really works if you're doing a halo eye. Also, another reason why I asked her to look up is so that when she looks straight, the shimmers will still show up, because the thing with people with deep set eyes is that the eyeshadows sometimes tend to hide underneath your eyes, so when they look like straight, you can't see the shadows on the lid. So this is just going to extend the eyeshadow higher so that, like I said, when she looks straight to your eyes, you're still going to be able to see the shimmery eyeshadow that we're going to apply on the center of her lids peeking through. So it's just a really nice strategy if you want to make the eyeshadow more visible. I forgot to mention that I used the Rire eye pigment on the center of her lids, and now I'm just using the Fira Cosmetics individual shimmery eyeshadows. These eyeshadows are so pigmented and buttery. And I'm just applying this color on her inner corner, and the inner corner highlight is a must for me because it just gives light to the look and it just makes you look more fresh and more brighter. I just really love this effect. Also dabbing a little bit of this product on the center of her lids and then blending it out with a clean blending brush. And then going in with a darker, this is the darkest brown, and I'm just going to apply this on her outer corner, and this is just going to smoke out the look even more and give it more dimension so that it won't look flat. And this effect gives her that cat eye look and it looks really nice in photos, especially for, again, flash photography. Now I'm just using this dark gray eyebrow pencil, and the reason why I use this is because it's too creamy as an eyebrow pencil. So if you're scared to use a black eyeliner, like the regular liquid black liner, you can go ahead and use your pencil liner because it's more subtle and you can blend it out. The only downside with liquid eyeliners is once it's on, there's no going back. So now I'm just smudging this with my pinky finger. I think this is like going to make it look more softer, and I really like the effect. Now I'm just applying concealer on her lower lash line, and the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to just erase the shadows that she has on her lower lash line, and this is just going to make her eyes look more fresh. But I'm going to apply like a light mocha shadow there, but I'm planning to apply something shimmery there, so it's going to give that more fresh angelic look under her eyes. And this just cancels out the darkness under her eyes, and you can see right away the difference that it makes. As you can see, it just looks more like brighter, and I don't know, I just really like the effect that it gives. And now I'm just applying a very light mocha shade. I think this is the transition shade that I'm using right now. It's very light. Normally, if I'm doing eye makeup looks, I always apply a dark brown under my eyes if I'm doing it on myself. But right now, I'm going for something that's just light, just to give a little bit of definition. And now I'm just going to use this Essence Bright Eyes eye pencil, and I'm just lining her waterline with this. And what this does is it's going to make her eyes look more awake, and also it's going to erase those dark shades on her waterline, so it's more fresh, as you can see. And I'm just using this brown pen eyeliner because I want her eyes to look more close to each other, and like I said, this is just going to give a little bit of definition without really lining her eyes. So I'm also lining the upper lash line ever so slightly with this. I don't want too much, just a little bit, because I don't want a harsh line on her lash line. Pop those lashes on, and we're almost finished with the eye makeup look. I'm just using these very natural looking set of false lashes. I actually had to trim the outer corners of this. The outer and inner corner I had to trim just because it has to fit perfectly on her eyes. So while I'm letting the lash glue dry, I'm also contouring her nose with just a contouring powder. And I don't want too much nose contour because the eyes are already a bit heavy. And I just want to enhance the nose bridge, just like what I always do, especially when I do my own makeup. This is actually my favorite part. And for me, like, a makeup look is not complete without the nose contour. Now I'm just using this Detail Makeover Contour and Blush effect. And I'm going to start with this bronze color, and I'm going to like bronze up her face first, just to add shadows on her cheeks. And after that, I might contour a little bit more. But if I just go ahead and start with the darkest shade, it's going to look too harsh. Next, I'm going to contour her face with the contour shade from the exact same palette. Then I'm going to add blush on her cheeks. This is the City Color Be Matte Blush in the shade Akai. This is actually personally my favorite blush because it just looks like you've been pinched, and it looks so fresh, like as if you just came out from the gym and you just flushed. And I don't know, I just really like it. It looks so natural, and it just brings back life to your face after all the brown tones. This is just a nice pop of color. And now I'm just blanking out her lips with a foundation, and I am going to line her lips. This time I'm actually going to overline since she requested for a fuller lip. So I'm just using this. This one's from Detail Makeover. I'm just gonna put everything in the description box below, everything that I use and all the shades. But this is just a like a brownish rosy toned lip liner. Then I went ahead and applied this like lip glaze from Novo. These are my new favorite lippies. But any orangey nude color will do. I personally love starting with nude colors, and then if I change my mind and if I want to add a more vibrant shade, I'll just go ahead and mix it on top, but I'm not going to erase the one that I already have. Then I'm just curling her lashes with this lash curler that I reviewed. This one is from Miniso. The review is already up in my channel long time ago, and I just realized that this is nice if you're a makeup artist, because it's a lot easier to use if you have a client than a regular lash curler. Then I'm taking this concealer and applying it on the outer corner of her eyes, and I'm just erasing the shadows that you can see. This is just going to give that baby eyes effect, since babies just sleep all day and they don't get those dark circles or dark shadows around their eyes. And now I'm just applying this glitter liner under her eyes, and this is just going to bring attention to her eyes, especially with flash photography. This looks so nice because everything else is matte, but like the eyes just speaks for itself. And you can totally leave the lips nude like this, but I just want to add a pop of color. This is again from Novo Cosmetics. It's their lip glaze. I really love this color. This is the shade 07. Let her blot her lips and we're done. Done doing the makeover on Jasmine, and she hasn't seen her makeup yet, so it's going to be the revealing time. So I'm gonna hand her the mirror.
Wow.
Do you like it?
Yes.
What do you think?
Nice.
Do you look different?
Yes.
Diba?
I like it.
What's your favorite part?
Actually, all of the
Makeup.
makeup.
Everything.
Yes.
So yeah, that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye!
Bye.